Hey guys, EBPMAN here. Hey guys, EBPMAN here. Just a few weeks ago, Apple announced its next generation iPad Pros. Today, we're going to do an unboxing of the 10.5, and this is the official version that will be available in the next 2 days. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now, with the 10.5, what you're going to find is a couple things. First of all, the traditional iPads are 9.7-inch iPads, so this is a little bit larger. And one of the ways that they've really been able to accomplish this is by reducing the size of the bezel. We're starting to see this more and more. So Apple's not the first to do this. As you look at, LG did this with the G6. Samsung also did this with their S8 line, so you have more screen now to, I would say, case ratio. And Apple has done the exact same thing to be able to give us a larger screen, but still keep the footprint of the iPad relatively small. Now, keep in mind that this is the 10.5 version, which is not too far from the 9.7. There is a 12-inch version for those of you who are looking for one that's much larger. So let's go ahead and do the unboxing and see what this looks like. Comes in a nice protective cover like this, and we'll take a look at the actual size differences just in a second. Now, as you all know, Apple has recently announced the release of two new iPads, the 9.7, which was increased to the 10.5, which is what you see here, and also a next generation 12-inch Pro Series. Now, they've been able to accomplish a larger screen, but still keeping the footprint of the iPad relatively small by doing what you're seeing right now, which is a common trend, and that is increasing the screen size but reducing the bezel. So now you have less bezel on the top and the bottom, and also on the side, so that you can get the larger footprint. So not new. You saw this with LG did this with their G6, and then you also saw Samsung do this as well with the S8. So what they've done is they just made this a little bit larger, still keeping the iPad relatively the same size. Now, this is the 10.5 version, and this is going to be available on the 15th of this month, which is just a couple days away. And this is what it looks like, the actual unboxing. So we'll take a look at the iPad and compare it in a couple seconds, but what I have here is the space gray version. So move that over to the side. You have your lightning connector, and then what you have here is some instructional information, your power brick, and then that's pretty much it. There's nothing else in the box. So as I move this around, all you're going to have is your tablet, your lightning connector, and your power brick, and some instructional information. Now, I removed the actual packaging just so you can see the iPad. This is a lot larger, as you can see. You saw that also in the boxing right here, how they illustrate it. But the footprint seems to be very similar to the 9.7. One thing I'm just going to mention is that this is the iPad that you want to hurry up and buy, but you're probably going to end up waiting anyway. And the reason why I say that is because out of the box, outside of having the larger screen size, which I think a lot of you will like, and also it having 4 speakers, there's been improvements in the processor. There's always something that is going to make the next generation iPad slightly better than the previous version, but the real difference, or the changes that are coming, are really coming in the next generation of software, which disappointingly is not part of this release. So while you may be pressed to go ahead and buy the iPad, run out and get it because it's going to be available on the 15th, do the pre-order. You're going to pre-order a device that all you're going to get is a larger screen and 4 speakers. It's the exact same experience as your current iPad if you have one, or any other iPad that's on the market today. So that's one thing to be aware of. So now taking a look at the iPad, you'll notice thin, obviously thinner than the previous generations. You have 2 speakers here, your lightning connector. You do have no controls on this side except this is the bottom, so this is where you're going to connect with the keyboard. And you have 2 more speakers here, and you have your power button. On the back, you have your camera. The camera has been improved for those of you who like taking pictures with your iPad. And then you have a pinhole mic here, and that's pretty much it. There's not much more to it. Now, while this iPad does have a camera, as you would expect, and also Touch ID, the experience, again, is going to be really similar to the one that you have. So I'm going to go ahead and power this up so you can see what the boot up experience is going to be like. We'll go ahead and sign up, and then we'll just navigate a little bit just to give you a sense of what to expect. But once again, it's the exact same iPad as you have now. Now, the setup process for the iPad has not changed. All you're going to do is, once you've identified the network that you're a part of, you've chosen your language, you do get the opportunity to set up Touch ID. So setting up Touch ID is pretty simple. All you do is hit continue, and then you just are going to rest your finger here. I tend to try to rotate it around because you're never going to be pressing it the same way. And just play with it until you go through each one of the settings. So again, it's telling you adjust your grip. So I'm going to go ahead and do a side press, this kind of press, upside down press. You want to get impressions of every possible way that you're going to hold onto the iPad. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to set up a password. Now by default you're going to have a long password, but you can reduce it if you want to just by choosing password options. You make that change. You can do a 4-digit code or you can keep it with the 6. Now the next step in the process is to either set up the iPad as new or restore it from iCloud backup. I'm just going to go ahead and just do a new iPad. I have an existing iPad, but we'll go ahead and set up as new, and then I'll just reboot it and restore it later. Now another part of the setup process is just going through the Siri setup. So I'll say, "Hey Siri, hey Siri, how's the weather today?" "Hey Siri, it's me." And it looks like Siri is ready, so I'll hit continue. I'm not going to share any of my analytics. You have this two-tone display. This is one of the other new features where the iPad will automatically adapt to the ambient light. So you can see it without the two-tone display. So let me press it and see if it comes up on camera. That's with, that's without, with, and that's without. So we're going to leave it, so it's adjusting it. And what this is going to do for you is it's going to make it easier for you to see. It's almost like the blue light filter that you see on some of the other products. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And that's pretty much it. Now, right off the bat, I can tell you that the spacing between the icons that you can see how things are really spaced out, really indicate the resolution of the iPad and also the larger size. So this is something that I noticed immediately, that it's a lot larger. So pretty much your experience with your iPad, again, will be exactly the same, except with an improved resolution, larger format, as well as faster processing. Improved also visibility and also audio experience. Now what we're going to do in the channel over the next few hours is we're going to look at screen protectors, and we're also going to be looking at case that you can order now that's not going to break the bank, that you can use with your iPad 10.5. So this concludes my unboxing and setup of the iPad 10.5 Professional. If you have any comments or questions, leave in the comment area below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.